Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, legislation introduced to address ADS-B misuse, Nat'l STOL series trailer total loss after fire, Volocopter resumes certification process with a new owner. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Legislation introduced to address ADS-B misuse. The Pilot and Aircraft Privacy Act was introduced in the House by Representative Bob Onder and in the Senate by Senator Ted Budd to federally restrict the use of ADS-B flight tracking data for non-safety related purposes. The bills prohibit the use of ADS-B to assess fees or initiate enforcement actions unrelated to safety. They also explicitly reinforce that its intended use is for situational awareness and air traffic management purposes only. The legislation would deny the use of ADS-B data to identify and collect landing or access fees. It also amplifies the language in the 2024 FAA Reauthorization Act that prevents investigations based solely on ADS-B evidence. The bills also explicitly require that public use airports make the cost impacts of any new landing fees known and stipulate that those fees must be used to pay for airside safety improvements. Letters to FAA Acting Administrator Chris Rocheleau describe how the misuse of ADS-B data for lawsuits, third-party landing fees, and enforcement actions caused a chilling and potentially dangerous effect on GA, forcing pilots to pay expensive legal fees or unexpected landing fees. Aviation groups have told the FAA that misuse of the data raises safety and privacy concerns, and that such misapplication of the data runs afoul of the FAA's stated goals and threatens to discourage participation in this safety-critical program. After the break, Netherlands donates 18 F-16s to Romania for €1.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Netherlands donates 18 F-16s to Romania for €1. The Netherlands announced the donation of 18 F-16 fighter jets to Romania for €1, a symbolic amount that signifies the aircraft will formally enter the Romanian Air Force. The announcement was made by Romanian Defense Minister Ionut Mosteanu at a NATO summit in The Hague after the aircraft had been based at the European F-16 Training Fighter Center since November 2023. The aircraft are not intended for combat deployment, but rather will continue to be used in their role as dedicated trainers for the pilots of several countries. Two 737s collide on a Sochi International Airport ramp. Two Boeing 737-800s got tangled on the apron at Sochi International Airport on June 27th. There were no injuries, but the planes, one from UT Air and the other from Nordstar, sustained substantial damage. UT Air flight UT514, bound for Tumen, had just started taxiing out for departure when it clipped Nordstar flight Y7412, which had just arrived from Norilsk. The arriving Nordstar jet reportedly stopped short of its assigned parking mark, allegedly because no one was present to marshal it in. Apparently, that little detail wasn't relayed to ground control. U.S. Air Force cuts the E-7 Wedgetail. The U.S. Air Force recently announced its decision to cancel the E-7 Wedgetail, referencing extensive delays, cost overruns, and questionable mission alignment. The only question that remains is what aircraft will replace it. The E-7 operates on the Boeing 737-700NG commercial airframe. It features a multi-role electronically scanned array surveillance radar to detect long-range targets and threats. The Mesa, manufactured by Northrop Grumman, conducts 360-degree electronic scans to provide crews with continuous surveillance of the mission area. AgEagle sells 100th drone to South Korea. AgEagle Aerial Systems announced the sale of 2 more EBX drones to South Korea, bringing the country's total installed base to more than 100 units. The sale strengthens AgEagle's strategic partnership with the country and reaffirms its position in the Asia-Pacific drone market. The Asia-Pacific consumer drone market is projected to grow at 15% through 2030 and reach $4.1 billion in value, according to Grandview Research. AgEagle intends to grow in response to this projected demand for innovative and mission-driven solutions. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Nat'l STOL Series trailer total loss after fire. The Nat'l STOL Series suffered a devastating loss when the truck towing the event trailer was involved in an accident in Montana. The truck flipped, caught fire, and both truck and trailer were destroyed. Thankfully, no one was injured, but all the equipment used in putting on the events was lost. The series team said all the organization's physical assets were lost, in addition to the trailer itself that serves as the team base of operations at the show. These included measurement equipment, radio systems, sound gear, and cameras, along with the branded canopy and other materials, signage, and merchandise. The series team expresses its gratitude that no one was injured and recommits to the safety of all team members. Nat'l STOL presents a series of competitions that has grown in number from 2 contests in its inaugural year of 2020 to 10 in 2024, and this year the plan is to host 12 events nationwide. Nat'l STOL has become one of, if not the leading aviation competition series in the country. Last year's 10 events drew over 145 teams and nearly 20,000 in-person attendees. After these messages, Volocopter resumes certification process with a new owner.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
DirectFly USA proudly introduces the new Alto NG, a single-engine, 2-seat light sport aircraft for the North American market. This simple, all-metal aircraft design provides low-maintenance cost, easy, comfortable access, and responsive flight controls. Equipped with the Rotax 912 engine and a ballistic parachute, the Alto NG is reliable and safe. Learn more about the Alto NG at directflyusa.com.
It's time to upgrade your power plant to the first FAA-certified clean sheet engine design in over 60 years. Delta Hawk's jet fuel-powered liquid-cooled turbocharged engine produces turbine performance at 40% better fuel efficiency of typical reciprocating engines, while also achieving exceptional reliability and significant reduction in cost of ownership. Reserve your engine package today at deltahawk.com.
Welcome back. Volocopter resumes certification process with a new owner. Volocopter has resumed work toward the certification of its Velocity eVTOL, this time under the guiding hand of Diamond Aircraft. The manufacturer filed for insolvency late last year before being saved in an $11 million deal this March. Volocopter had big plans: high-profile airshow appearances, flashy partnerships with Honeywell and Mercedes-Benz, and a demo flight debut planned for the 2024 Paris Olympics. However, after EASA failed to certify its engine in time for flight testing, investor interest dried up. This forced the company into insolvency in late 2024. At that point, Velocity had reportedly completed around 3/4 of EASA's certification requirements. The saving grace came from China-based Wanfeng Auto Holding Group, which owns Austrian OEM Diamond Aircraft. Wanfeng scooped up Volocopter's assets, which were originally valued at €42 million for just €10 million, roughly $11 million USD. Despite the change in ownership, Volocopter kept its name, and Diamond began using its certification experience to help get Velocity across the regulatory finish line. Volocopter's 2-seat Velocity, equipped with 18 rotors and 9 batteries, has already racked up more than 2,000 test flights in its various iterations. Though its high-visibility campaigns have taken a back seat, the company says it's focused on completing certification and preparing for production and delivery. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.